So I think that it's important that men should feel safe opening up to their partners, right? So everything I said about the veto thing, it was all a bit. I don't actually shit on men's like feelings, you know? Like, you know, I have a brother, I have a dad, I have uncles. To be honest with you, I'm a lot closer to the males in my family than my, I guess, like, than my auntie, my mom and all that, you know? Like, I'm really close to all the guys in my family a lot more than the girls. So, I'm very, like, what's the word? Cheers? What do you mean cheers? Yeah, I'm just very... I'm so bad with words. I care a lot about mental health, right? I care a lot about men's mental health, women's mental health. I care about it all. But with the comment section that I saw in that YouTube video, your feelings are valid, but I think there's also a time and place to trauma dump, right? And the YouTube comment section, I feel like is not it. I'm gonna be so for real. Like, unless the video itself is actively like, hey guys, like, you know, we're doing a therapy thing today, comment below, like, you know, whatever, we'll try and help you. Like, unless the video is actively like, hey man, you can like vent here. Well, I feel like it's fine to talk about your mental health there. I feel like there's always a time and place for it. If you're like, I don't know, you're on some random video, for example, like the clip of me that got pushed around. If you comment onto that with your trauma, I am so sorry, man, but you are getting bullied. Respectfully, you're getting bullied, not by me, but people will bully you because you gotta remember, you are being vulnerable on the internet. Regardless of gender, the internet can be ruthless, okay? Regardless of whether you're a guy or a woman or neither or both. Like, it doesn't matter. The internet is ruthless sometimes. So if you are gonna trauma dump and, you know, you don't want people to, like, make fun of you on it, because obviously you're already vulnerable when you're talking about your issues, right? So I think, yeah, venting is for close friends. I won't even say just that, like, you know... Personally, I find it easier to vent to strangers than close friends. Thank you for the follow! Hello! I find it a lot easier to vent to strangers sometimes, because I feel like there's not a lot of judgment there, if that makes sense. And I know I'm not really going to be treated differently by this random stranger, right? But, like, you know, that's why I feel like, you know, therapy works for some people, because if you're like me and you like to vent to strangers rather than close friends... You know, that's why therapy is kind of a thing. I used to love going to bars and trauma dumping to randos. That does sound like a you thing to do, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, like, the point is, there's always a time and place for venting, so if you don't wanna get hit through random strangers' comments online, I feel like it's really, really, really important that you choose, you know, be smart about it. You gotta choose where you're venting, you know? So, all I'm saying is just don't vent in YouTube comments because you will get bullied, okay? That's the main point I'm trying to make here, right? Okay? But, I'm not saying bottle it up. I don't feel like bottling up your mental health or your feelings is, like, good advice at all, you know? Like, you're gonna feel worse about it, right? I'm trying to think of a good, like, metaphor for this, but I'm really not good at thinking. It's like... It's like putting mints or whatever into, like, a cola bottle, right? And then you shake it, and then you know, the lid is shut, right? Sure, you're gonna feel, you know, by bottling it up, sure, you're not really going to, what's the word? You'll be fine for a little bit, right? You'll be fine for a little bit, but because there's so much pressure that you've already got sealed in that bottle, the moment that somebody, like, opens the lid a tiny bit, you're just going to burst, right? I don't know if I'm saying this right. I'm so sorry if I'm not, but you're going to burst, right? So if somebody is like, hey man, how are you feeling? And say it's a really bad, you know, you're having a really bad day, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna tell you about, like, what's been bothering me. And then, bam! troubles, everything you've been holding in just burst. And in my opinion, I feel like while it's okay to let that pressure out, at the same time, I feel like it's a lot healthier if you do it in small doses, because the thing is, if you start trauma dumping on somebody who just wanted to know how you're feeling, like if you're okay and stuff like that, that person is going to back away quite quickly because they're going to be too overwhelmed with all these feelings. Maybe they didn't want to be trauma dumped on, which is why you should always ask before you trauma dump on people. But yes, I feel like that's why it's better to, if you do have issues, it's probably better to, like, deal it in small doses. Not all at once, but don't get scared. Pretty much, you know? Like, kinda. You're supposed to ask them and immediately start trauma dumping before they respond. Exactly! That's what I did to ISO! But yeah, personally, I think that it's better to either... That's why I think it's best to either slowly let out the pressure you have. Like, not all at once, but like baby steps, right? Like, tackle one problem at a time, innit? And if you can't tackle a problem, move on to the next problem, right? I think that it's better for you to either do that, or if you do want to release all that pressure at once, make sure you're in the right space for it. Make sure you're talking to the right people for it. And just make sure that they know that you're about to unleash, like, hell on them, okay? Just make sure everybody's aware of what's about to happen, okay? Scheduled best. But yeah, you guys get what I mean, right? I'm probably explaining this so badly, but yeah. So yes, I think that it's important that you do talk about your mental health, but just make sure you do it in a way that, you know, suits you and suits whoever you're releasing it, right? So yeah, bust regularly and not too hard. Make sure to warn them before you burst on them. So Tirana, okay, why did you guys have to turn it sexual? I was trying to be wholesome for once. I was trying to be wholesome. I was trying to be nice to raise, you know, mental health awareness. But now, you guys just had to make it all dirty. Oh my god, that emote is so pissed. You guys stink, dude. If you find yourself constantly going on extended rants in YouTube comment sections, consider finding a healthier outlet. Exactly. Like, YouTube is not the place for you to vent. I'm just being honest with you guys. But yeah. I think... Alright, I'm gonna say something, and it's probably gonna get a lot of raised eyebrows, okay? So, I feel like the reason men's mental health is more shitted on than women's is because I feel like men... Though, specifically guys who aren't very socially adapted to the room in general, I feel like a lot of guys don't, they can't grasp when it's, oh man, how do I explain this? Basically relating to what I said about the YouTube comments, I feel like more often than not, men aren't aware of where they should rant, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly what Skirt said. Okay, minus the idiots part, but you know. I feel like a lot of people don't really know when to talk about your problems, thus why... That's kind of like why people get made fun of, because you always do it at the wrong time, and then people see this and like, ew, why are you venting now, weirdo? And then, you know, you get bullied for it, right? And I feel like that's why a lot of men get bullied. It's sort of like a chicken and egg problem, feeling like you're not supposed to express yourself leads to not having any experience expressing yourself appropriately. Yeah,